The stadium lights at Arrowhead stuttered, hummed, and then cut to black, leaving the field in a sudden, suffocating darkness. Inside the executive suite, the silence was absolute. Clark Hunt stood by his desk, the only light in the room emanating from a single, cream-colored card resting on the mahogany surface. It was an invitation to a league gala. It was not the one the press was screaming about, not the one fueling the wildfire of rumors gripping every television screen in the country. Outside, the world was obsessed with the secret ceremony, the headlines, the spectacle of a life moving beyond the gridiron. Inside, there was only the paper. Hunt looked away from the card and toward the darkened window. Through the glass, the stadium bowl was a vast, hollow shell. The air in the office felt thin, static, and heavy with the weight of an era ending. He traced the edge of the card with his thumb. The media noise was a dull roar in his mind. But here, in the quiet, the reality was sharper. The man who had defined the rhythm of this franchise had stepped into a different orbit, leaving behind a silence that no amount of stadium power could fill. Hunt did not move. He watched the last of the floodlight hum fade into the night. Hunt shifted his weight and reached for the device on his desk. The screen glowed, casting a harsh, artificial light across his face. He tapped the icon, scrolling through months of call logs. The entries were a rhythmic list of business, contract talk, and routine logistics. Then, the pattern broke. 3 months ago, a single outgoing call. No return signal, no voice message, no acknowledgement. He tapped the entry again, as if the device might suddenly produce the missing response through pure repetition. It stayed blank. The duration of the silence between them was not a measurement of time, but a measure of distance. He had expected a casual check-in, a standard update, but the digital trail confirmed a different reality. The tight end was gone, pulled into a separate, private galaxy where the team owner no longer held a tether. Hunt sat back, the phone feeling heavy and cold against his palm. He looked at the empty office, the stillness now amplified by the realization that he was reaching into a void. The connection had not just frayed, it had been replaced. He locked the screen, the sudden darkness of the display mirroring the quiet of the room. Hunt leaned back, eyes fixed on the empty turf. He recalled the final whistle of the Super Bowl, the handshake on the field, the firm grip, the shared nod of absolute hard-won victory. That moment felt like a relic from a different century. Now, the space between them was filled with static. A sharp knock rattled the office door. The public relations director entered, arms laden with folders and press clippings. The pages were thick with speculation, wedding rumors, and celebrity gossip that had nothing to do with training camps or playbooks. Hunt did not turn his head. He looked at the reflection in the window, seeing the director wait for a reaction that did not come. The silence in the room stretched, tightening like a wire about to snap. Hunt finally looked at the stack of inquiries, then back to the darkness outside. He waved his hand, a small, dismissive gesture that cut the director off mid-sentence. The man hesitated, then retreated, closing the door with a soft, final click. Hunt stood alone again. The air felt thin. The weight of the unspoken words was a physical pressure against his chest, making every breath a deliberate, slow effort. He was the owner of the team, yet he was an outsider to the man who had been its heartbeat. Hunt grabbed his jacket and walked toward the exit. The office door shut, cutting off the lingering scent of stale coffee and paper. Outside, the night air hit him with a sharp, biting chill. He crossed the parking lot, his boots crunching against loose gravel. Near the stadium entrance, a black SUV sat idling. As he approached, the vehicle lurched forward, tires biting into the asphalt. Hunt stopped. Through the tinted glass, a shadow moved. It was a silhouette he had watched on the field for years, a familiar posture, a specific tilt of the head. He reached out, his hand gripping the cold, unyielding metal of his own car handle, but he did not pull it. The SUV accelerated, its taillights cutting through the darkness as it rounded the corner and disappeared into the city grid. The silence returned, absolute and hollow. He stood frozen, the sudden absence of the car leaving a void in the middle of the empty lot. The bond he had once considered ironclad had not just drifted away. It had been severed by an invisible blade. He let go of the handle, his fingers numb from the cold, and stared at the empty space where the vehicle had been seconds before. The parking lot remained empty. The only sound was the distant hum of the city, a low vibration that did not reach the stadium grounds. Hunt pulled the car door open. The interior was dark, smelling of leather and stale air. He slid into the driver's seat, the movement stiff and mechanical. He did not check the mirrors. He did not look at the phone resting on the passenger seat. He stared through the windshield at the road ahead, where the SUV had long since vanished into the night. His hand moved to the ignition. He hesitated for a second, his fingers tight against the key, before turning it. The engine roared to life, a sudden, violent surge of sound that shattered the stillness. It echoed off the concrete walls of the stadium, a hollow, thundering noise that filled the void where answers should have been. He gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles white. The vibration ran up his arms, the only sensation left to him. He shifted into gear, the metal clicking into place. He did not look back. The questions he had carried all night were gone, replaced by the rhythm of the idling engine. He pulled away, leaving the flickering lights behind, alone in the dark.